Yo, what's going on, NFL fans? In today's episode, I want to use a mock draft simulator to completely simulate the first round. And then we're going to see who are the biggest steals going into day 2 of the NFL draft. So what guys are going to be left on the board as we go into the second round of this year's NFL draft. All right. Don't forget, if you haven't yet, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. It's a great free way to help support me and the channel and help us grow. Okay, let's get into see who is left on the board going into day 2. I'm going to give you 5 players that snuck into the second round that give teams the most value, most bang for your buck. First, I want to start with an honorable mention. That's Michael Penix Jr. For teams entering day 2, like the Raiders, the Patriots, maybe teams that might have missed out on a quarterback in day 1. Michael Penix Jr. is a G, man. He throws a great deep ball that he crushed it with Rome Odunze at Washington. He's got 90 grades everywhere except the pressure grade, which he's going to have to improve on a little bit, get that ball out a little bit sooner. But passing grade 90, intermediate grade 90, no pressure grade 92, deep grade 93. And he's steadily improved year after year. I would like to see that completion percentage a little bit higher than 65%. If you can't complete 70% of your passes in college, it's going to be tough for you to be in that 65 to 70% mark at the NFL level. QB rating 106.7. This guy is definitely worth using a second round pick on. He throws a great deep ball. He's got great size. He's a really good player. 6'3", 213. He's 24. Penix has been a productive quarterback at Washington over the last 2 years. He shows NFL caliber, distance, and velocity on a variety of different throws. He can make all the throws. He can throw the deep ball better than pretty much everyone in this draft class. He throws a good intermediate route. The dude's really, really talented. And I'm surprised that teams wouldn't want to take a flyer on him in the first round, especially some of these quarterback desperate teams. Maybe a team in the second round will move up and try to get Michael Penix Jr. I like him as my honorable mention for best values in day 2. All right, my number 5 player that has the most value going into day 2 is Ricky Pearsall. He's a slot receiver. He's probably one of the best route runners and has one of the best set of hands in this entire draft class. To get a guy like this in the second round who's immediately going to make your team so much better. He's so good. Drop rate only 3%. Receiving grade around 78%. The dude is really good. He made one of the best catches I've ever seen in my life versus Charlotte earlier in this year. Almost 1,000 yards receiving. 6'1", 192. Ultimately, Pearsall won't intimidate defenders on the line of scrimmage, but he will once the ball is snapped. He's got some motor to him. He's really good after the catch, too. His yak yards are really good. He can contribute at the NFL level wherever he goes. He's going to be a day 1 starter in the slot for whatever team picks him. He's really, really talented. I'm a huge fan of his game. I love Ricky Pearsall. And if you take a look at his measurables going into the draft class, he's really strong. 71st percentile on bench press, 89 in 20-yard shuttle, 93 in 3-cone drill, 88 in the broad jump, 97 in vertical leap. This guy is an athletic specimen, guys. He's so unbelievably talented, and whoever can snag him in the second round is going to be super happy with that pick. Ranked number 4 on my players who snuck into the second round, I like Chris Jenkins, man, the interior defensive lineman from Michigan. And all my mock drafts are like, people are like, why are you drafting so many players from Michigan? Because they were coached by Jim Harbaugh. That's why. And Harbaugh is one of the toughest coaches in the NFL. He will be one of the toughest coaches when he comes back to the NFL next year. And if you can play for Harbaugh, you can play for any coach in the NFL. He knows how to get coached up tough, and I love that. And you know Harbaugh loves his line, offense and defensive line. Chris Jenkins is going to be a day 1 starter when he gets picked in the second round. He's extremely talented guy. 80 grades the past 2 years. He's great against the pass, even better against the run. 6'3", 305, great size for a D tackle. He's one of the strongest players in this entire draft. And if you look at his measurables, it goes to show you. He is really, really good. Look at that bench press, 84th percentile. 20-yard shuttle, 87th percentile. I mean, this guy is an absolute beast mode. 6'5", 316, 5.19 in the 40-yard dash, 31-inch vertical leap, 108-inch broad jump, 20-yard shuttle, 4.41, 33 reps on the bench. The dude is a beast. He's way too talented to be slipping into the second round. And if you're drafted at any point in the second round and you need an interior defensive lineman, Chris Jenkins is your guy. My third best player who slipped into the second round is Ladd McConkey. The day he gets drafted into the NFL, he's going to be a top 10 route runner in the entire NFL. That's how crisp he is, man. He is extremely impressive, and he has really solid hands. The dude is incredibly talented. He is one of my favorite players in this entire draft, and I'm surprised a team like the Chiefs passed up on him. You put him in the slot with Patrick Mahomes, and this dude's going to light it up. 82 overall grade, 81 receiving grade, a 3-star recruit with plenty of athletic versatility. McConkey played quarterback, running back, D-back, and special teams in high school. From his Georgia tape, McConkey is a highly nuanced receiver who has the athletic ability and football intelligence to be a difference maker in the slot at the NFL level. He reminds me a lot of Julian Edelman, guys. 6 foot, 185. I want to see him put on around 10 pounds so he can kind of take the hits that are going to come to him in the middle of the field at the NFL level. But his ability to run routes and catch the football is incredible. If you watch him at the combine, it's effortless, man. Pure catcher of the football. Extremely talented. I love Ladd McConkey. He's my third-ranked guy who snuck into the second round. My second favorite player who slipped into the second round of the 2024 NFL Draft is Edgerrin Cooper, the linebacker from Texas A&M. And if he slides into the second or the third round, this guy might be the absolute biggest steal in the NFL Draft this year. I love Edgerrin Cooper. And when you're drawing up, like if you're creating a player in Madden at the linebacker position, it would be Edgerrin Cooper. He can do everything well. Look, pass rush grade 86, run grade 87, coverage grade 85. For a linebacker to be able to do all three of these things at the level that he's doing them at, guys, this guy is a stud, man. 90 grade this year. He played a ton of snaps, over 600 snaps, 58 tackles. The dude is a monster, man. I would like to see him improve on his tackling a little bit. 12.8% missed tackle rate is a little high for me, but this guy, if you watch his tape, he's a stud. 6'3", 230. He's a beast. When he cracks people, man, they just don't want to get up. He puts a thumping on people, man. He smokes dudes. I saw this one play. He did like a bull rush and he knocked the lineman into the quarterback, created a turnover. This guy is a sideline to sideline machine. I love Edgerrin Cooper, man. And if you look at his metrics, look at these measurables, guys. 95th percentile in arm length, 75% in hand size, 10-yard split, 88%. 40-yard dash, 93%. I mean, this guy is an absolute stud. He ran a 4.5 40-yard dash, man. That is insane speed. For a guy this big, 6'3", 230, running a 4.5, that's like getting hit by a Mini Cooper, man. Edgerrin Cooper, my number 2 guy to slip into the second round. And number 1, the defensive player of the year in college football last year, Peyton the Machine Wilson. I mean, go watch his tape a little bit, guys. He is an absolute star in the making. 92 tackles, 89 grade, pass rush grade 76, coverage grade 90, run defense grade 83. This guy is a specimen, man. 40-yard dash, 90. He ran a 4.43. He ran a 4.43? How? A guy who's 6'4", 238, ran a 4.43. I mean, if you watch this guy's tape, everything says he's a first-round pick, but he does have a history of some injuries that might push him into the second, maybe even possibly the third round, which would be absolutely insane. He's got the length, movement ability, IQ. The tape says he's a first-rounder. He dominates when he's on the field. He's one of the best players in this draft, let alone a guy who's dropping into the second or possibly third round. I don't see him getting out of the second round. Any team that needs a linebacker in the second round should be running to the podium to draft Peyton Wilson. He's an absolute monster. I love him to be my number 1 best option in the second round. He slipped in this particular mock draft, so if I'm in the second round and I'm picking, I'm definitely looking into Peyton Wilson, one of my favorite players in this draft and an absolute steal in the second round. Let me know in the comments below. Do you like my list of guys that are potential steals in day 2 and day 3 of this NFL draft? I'm not sure if any of these guys get out of the second round. Some of these guys will probably even get drafted in the first round, but if they sneak into the second round, you got to pick them, man. These guys are going to be stars in the NFL. I have confidence in each and every one of these players' games. Let me know in the comments below, what players do you think are potential steals in the second and third round of this year's NFL draft? I would love to hear your guys' thoughts. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace.